All right, Mr. Wilkins, approval of the warrants.
Commissioners, we have warrants from August 21st in the amount of $1,712,336.21. A few of the big ones there was we had a $99,000 check to All Reds Landscaping for Rock Point expansion. Utah Outdoor Access, $300,000 for the Via Ferrata. And we purchased 3 pickups from Young Chevrolet in the tune of $169,533 for a total of 3.
All right. Call for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the warrants as presented by Mike Wilkins.
Discussion, concerns, comments? All right, call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Any tax matters today? All right, we have no tax matters. Moving right along. We have distribution of the state PILT monies. Okay, we have $314,921 that has to be spent by a special service district or districts. My recommendation is going to be $100,000 to animal control, the rest going to fire. As I said, my recommendation, not a motion. Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts?
You know my feelings on it, so I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay.
What are your thoughts then?
You know, in the board meeting at SSD1, told them would help fund that project because I thought that's what our conversation was. And I want to see, I would propose 100,000, but I'll probably accept 50,000 of that money going to recreational TV, and the rest of it split between the SSDs.
I do know that in the information I've been able to find, that the TV services have been handled by the Recreation District. I know Commissioner Larson said since 1974 he was able to find. I was only able to find back to 1997, but I did find that that's when it was under Recreation, and it has been since then, and they have been able to maintain it and pay those fees in the money that they've been allotted over the years. And so I am inclined to go with Commissioner Larson's recommendation. And so I would make that motion that we allocate $100,000 of that money to the fire district, and the remainder, to the animal control district, and the remainder would go to the fire district.
Okay, any further comments, discussion, concerns? I'll call for a vote.
Nay.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion will carry. All right, next on the line is the Utah Geospatial Resource Center Agreement for the MMRC, the Monument Replacement and Restoration Committee grant. Mitch, Batty.
I'm here for Brock. He's out of town. This is I'm bringing the contract for the MMRC contract for you guys to sign for the county surveyor to reestablish section corners up in Deep Creek area.
Okay. This was discussed in the work session last week. So I'll call for a motion on the UGRC, the Geospatial Resource Center Agreement.
I'll make a motion that we accept this agreement for MMRC grant as presented by Mitch Batty.
Questions, concerns, comments? Okay, call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you, Mitch. Go ahead. Have you seen Mitch yet? Okay. All right. Next we have Matt Gehring, GIS with resolutions. I'll let you say them this time. Which one's which?
I have a lot of things to say now. Matthew Gehring, the GIS. Thank you, commissioners. Resolution 08202025R1. The accepting the road for the Stonebrook Subdivision, as we talked about last week in work sessions. This is just adding the road to the transportation map to then address it.
Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I would make a motion that we accept 3950 South within Stonebrook Subdivision, which is Resolution 08-20-2025R1, as presented by Matthew Gehring.
Okay, on a side comment on these three that Matt's presenting, these were presented and verified by our road crew or our road boss that they are conducive to what the requirements for the state are. So they're built to spec. Call for a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
All right. Resolution 08202025R2. This is the accepting of 1550 South within the Briar Creek Subdivision, adding it to the transportation map so then it can be addressed.
Okay, call for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept resolution number 08-20-2025R2 as presented by Matt Gehring.
Call for a vote.
Aye.
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 Okay, finally, resolution number 08-20-2025R3, accepting of the 1940 South and 2000 South, respectively, for the Basin Acres Subdivision, adding it to the transportation map to then get it addressed.
Just one quick comment. I guess we should say to help you understand where these roads are. The first road is out on about 4000 South on 5th West. It's a newer subdivision that goes west there. That's the road. They had a partial road. They just extended the road. That's the part we were accepting on that first one. And the second one in Briar Creek Subdivision is out the new subdivision on 5th West, 1500 South, those new homes that have gone in right there. That's that road that goes from 5th West heading west into that subdivision. And this last one is out by the Vernal Cemetery. It's kind of south and just a little west of the cemetery there. It connects to, what's the name of the subdivision that's already there?
Basin Acres.
The one before,
Oh.
Bryn Meadows.
Bryn Meadows, yes.
Bryn Meadows subdivision, which is right on Vernal Avenue. This one kind of is a little below it to the southeast. And this is the road that they have finished in that subdivision. So those are the three roads that we've looked at. We've already approved the two, and I would make a motion. We approve Resolution 08-20-2025R3.
Okay, any questions, comments, or concerns? Call for vote.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Lundberg.
All right, Heidi Lundberg, Emergency Management. Coming before you, we have updated our region multi-jurisdictional all-hazard mitigation plan. And I just want to kind of briefly explain what this plan is. This comes from the plan itself. It says this plan exists to identify natural hazard threats to the community, prepare mitigation management strategies to address those threats, develop short-term and long-term goals and objectives for mitigating planning, and to fulfill federal, state, and local hazard mitigation planning obligations. So the intention of this plan is to enhance awareness of and provide mitigation strategies for elected officials, agencies, and the public, and develop actions which will minimize negative outcomes to the Uintah Basin's citizens, the economy, and the environment due to potential natural hazard threats. So we worked with stakeholders in all 3 counties to update this plan. It's been a multi-year project. It's been approved by the State Division of Emergency Management, and it's with FEMA awaiting their approval. So I'm asking today for the commissioners to adopt this plan pending FEMA's approval.
And if I remember right, it's just a small little plan.
Yeah, only like,
Yeah, like 400 pages.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
been a heck of a work in progress.
For sure.
So thank you very much for your dedication to it.
yes.
Okay, I call for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept Resolution 08-26-2025R1 Hazardous Mitigation Plan Update presented by Heidi Lundberg.
So in there, we'll need to add pending FEMA's approval.
Upon approval of FEMA.
Okay, approval,
Upon approval.
upon approval of FEMA. That's, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions, comments, concerns there? Call for a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. You got it, ma'am. You betcha. Okay, road maintenance, Scott.
Scott Hardman, Uintah County Road Department. I have 2 road maintenance agreements here, as we discussed in the work session. One with the Anschutz Exploration Corporation and one with Spyco Oilfield Services. Both of these are in reference to the asphalt wash roads where they're out there using those roads liberally. So they're to help us maintain those.
I was going to say, can you just explain that a little bit more for the audience, what that is, what they're doing to help maintain?
So a lot of the truck traffic that they have out there is tearing the roads up, so they're gonna help us with a little bit of material and water and graders and things that we can't keep up on, so.
Okay,
Thanks.
go for a motion.
I would make a motion that we approve the road maintenance agreements as stated by Scott Hardman.
Questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Scott.
And I'd like to tell the Wolf Pack that it's nice seeing all you guys here.
Well, they're on, so. It's now S3DA Scholastic 3D Archery.
My name is Mindy Mayer, and I'm the Utah State Coordinator for the S3DA program, Scholastic 3D Archery. And we are very blessed to have some of our archers here with us today also. The reason we're approaching you is archery is, did you know it's a sport? These kids can actually get college scholarships. Anytime that we do a state shoot, when the high school kids win, I hand them a stack of paper. It's a little thicker than this. This is only half the scholarships that these kids earn. They can go, they're full ride scholarships. They travel with the colleges to compete all over the country and all over the world. Right now, we currently have a young lady here from Vernal who's on Team USA, who's right now shooting for gold medals and traveling the world. We have 3 other young ladies from Vernal who are actually at full ride scholarships in college. And archery was how they got to these places. Now, I know archery sounds really scary. Now, our issue with archery is the new insurance policy. To use Uintah County property, we now require $3.5 million. I understand that the state of Utah has changed basically what their requirement can be or what you guys can be sued for. And right now, Uintah County has been the only county that we've ran into this problem. So I can host a shoot other places, which is great. We can do it, but we don't want to. And to explain why we don't want to, we passed out some papers to you today. And so that very first sheet with the colors, that is like the demographics from our last 2 years. So the top row is our shoots into 2024. We do 3 main shoots. We do the indoor, so it's an indoor target. We'll explain the differences a little bit later in that packet. There's 3D, which is the foam animal, so it's outdoor. And then we do outdoor target, following USA archery standards. So in 2024, you can see where we had them. We had a Vernal Rod and Gun Club, Buckskin Hills, and Flaming Gorge. Now, this program was started in Vernal by my team of Wolfpack. We actually have 6 teams in the state of Utah right now. 2 of the largest are right here in this room. They're from Uintah County. We have Wolfpack and we have the Centaurs, led by Jerry Slaw here in our community. If you look at the 2025 stats, we just finished that year. When we held our indoor at the Rod and Gun Club with Split Mountain's help, because Split Mountain rents the Rod and Gun Club for an indoor 3D archery range, we only get it 3 months of the year, and then they boot us out because they need it for other things, apparently. We had 128 shooters come to that event, which is the biggest shoot Utah has held in any entity, youth or adult, anywhere in the state in the past 5 years. So 128 shooters came to Vernal. 58 of them was from Uintah County. 7 was from Duchesne County. That makes a big difference when they're here local and that families don't have to travel. Something that our program tries to do is we try to keep to the cost as low as we possibly can, because we want these kids to be able to afford it. Some of these families, we have one family here that has 7 kids in the program. That's a lot of money when you have to pay for 7 kids to do something. Now, if you look at our outdoor from 2028 or 2025, sorry, I don't know what year it is, there at the end of that bottom row, when we went out to Easton Center out in Salt Lake to their big fancy $16 million facility, only 28 from Uintah County went. So we lost 30 kids just by moving it to Salt Lake. We don't like that. We want these kids to have those opportunities. And if you enter into the next page over is the insurance policy that we actually carry for S3DA. You can see that I carry a $3 million policy, not the 3.5, but I carry 3. The last shoot we did over in Roosevelt, was our 3D shoot. They were able to work around that 3.5 for us. They gave us an exception for that. So you can see that was for Roosevelt City. On to the next page, we've actually listed Split Mountain and Wolfpack. Here's why. I would love if we could include Split Mountain in this request. Split Mountain, Dennis was going to try to be here today, but I think he had to work out of town. They're our local 3D archery range, our 3D archery club. They've been running since 1990 at least. We don't know exactly what year they started because the founding members have passed away, but we do have people who have been in it since 1990. They've been holding the Western Park shoot for 32 years, never had a single insurance claim, never had a single accident. This year they had to get more insurance to hold Western Park. They had to go to and it was an extra $4,000. They're not going to be able to afford it again. That's going to do away with our Western Park shoot. Now, the next page is actually the insurance policy. There's more information there about both of our clubs. Our Wolfpack, I should say. We are nonprofit. Both clubs actually are. For Wolfpack, we mainly do youth, but we have adult. Students as well. Miss Cindy, she's here. Miss Cindy calls me one day and says, "Hey, can old ladies do this?" And I said, "Absolutely." She's over 70 and she took up archery. She's awesome. And she's won some regional. She's got some state championships and regional throughout the Western United States championships under her belt. The following page after this page, Explain Our Two Clubs, is the insurance policy that I currently carry, and Split Mountain, they have their own, but we have a $2 million. It may be possible to raise to $3 million. We don't know. Because archery is such a safe sport, it's really hard to get insurance more than that $2 million barrier. Even like IBO, the International Bow Hunters Association, only offers us $2 million. NFAA only offers me $2 million. These are national organizations that we're through. And the reason why is because we're so safe. You've got a couple pages of pictures. I know one question is everybody always wants to know, is archery really safe? Now, when we go, we actually set up the ranges so that they're safe. It's not just, I'm not going to hand these kids bows and arrows and say, have a good time. We're very regulated. We set it up so that the spectators are in a controlled area behind the shooters. The shooters run to a whistle. And if you look at the crowd, I bet if I say, how many whistles to get your bow? Raise your hand, you guys. How many whistles? Yep, pretty much everybody. Even our 5-year-old in the audience knows that it's 2 whistle commands. How many whistle commands to shoot? Right? These kids have been trained. These kids know what they're doing. They know what to look for. It's not like we're sending them out to be wild and crazy. So there are some pictures of what it looks like on the shoots. I apologize. I usually don't take pictures of the actual range, so they're children, so you can kind of see the ranges though. There's also a page of pictures of 3D. 3D's outside. That's what we actually want to do at Buckskin Hills, is an outdoor 3D. You can see clearly where they're shooting. There's no other people standing around those shooters. The spectators are back behind them. Their parents go with them. We have range officials roaming the range. We make sure we can see these kids and we keep them safe. The following pages after those are just some statistics that we've pulled from both S3DA, NASP, which is actually archery in the schools. So we actually used to run NASP here locally. We taught over 3,000 kids in your local schools, never had an accident. They actually shot their bow on their first day of instruction. These kids had 2 weeks training and they could shoot safely anywhere they go. There's also things from USA and then the ATA. Attached to the end is colored pages, and it's the ATA book where they've really studied the statistics. The problem is it's a high resolution, and it did not print well, and I apologize, but the web address is on that back of that page right before it, so you can actually pull it up online if you have more questions. Also, with that USA, you can see this actually the stats for insurance. Archery, our injury rate is a negative 0.57% per 1,000 occupants, or participants, sorry. Annual ED visits is a negative 4,300 archery-related injuries. These are what the insurance documents. That's why we're negative numbers. Common injuries, they're mostly fingers or hands. We're usually not life-sustaining. The injuries are usually not from a shot arrow. The number one place from injuries on an archery range is actually when they're pulling arrows, and it's from the back end of the arrow because they pull it out too fast. It's not from the front end of the arrow. In the last 12 years since S3DA has been going, we have never had a single shooting related accident. The only accidents we've ever had is like kids falling, tripping, the typical things, never insurance claims. I don't know where we go. I don't know how we get this approved, but we're asking the county to please accept our $3 million policy for S3DA and even to consider the $2 million policy that we have for Wolfpack and Split Mountain that we currently carry with our track record, with the safety ratings of archery, and let us hold events back here in Uintah County.
When you had them hold up fingers, I'm a little concerned. I saw one person who didn't, might be over the age of 70. I'm a little concerned about her shooting ability here.
That's Cindy.
Okay, let me make one correction on this. We are insured under the Utah County Insurance Pool. Mm-hmm. They're the ones who set the policy, not the state, the 3.5. I will open that up for discussion among the commissioners. Your thoughts, comments?
I've been down with these kids when they're shooting down here, and it's a very well-run organization. They do a great job. What she's saying they do, they actually do, and I don't see any problems there. The other group, run by Jerry Sly, is actually my neighbor, and so I watch them in my backyard. They shoot right next to me in my neighborhood, and my livestock on the other side of the fence, and my grandkids around, and they do a phenomenal job as well. So I know they're well coached, they're well trained, and they're not just saying it, they actually live it.
I'm impressed. I did receive a call from someone outside of our area that does this same type of thing, though, and stated how safe the sport is. And I'm glad you gave us these papers. It has the statistics on it. And I think it's definitely something we can look at.
Commissioners, can I make a point of clarification?
Please.
Though that it's now, I think, 3.68 is set by the state. So there's a state
is it?
board that does,
I thought it was
set that, so yeah.
Okay, Johnny told me they did, so.
They work
stand
with
corrected.
USIP,
Okay,
but yes,
thank
it
you.
is the state.
The only thing, we can decide if we would like to lower what an event is required to obtain, but then we would be responsible for the difference if an incident happened that went to that limit. Right. That is what I've been told. So that is something we can look at on a case-by-case basis on the event.
Ms. Meyer, may I ask a question? When is the next potential event here in Uintah County that you would like to hold in either the Western Park or Buckskin Hills?
We would actually like to try to get our state indoor at Western Park, and it has to be done by March 1st. Our window is like January 1 to March 1.
Okay.
So we have like a 2-month window. I have to have locations and dates turned into the national office by October 1st.
Okay.
So you would need to know before then.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Any further thoughts?
Were you coming hoping, were we able to make a decision today, or was this kind of to get information and discuss?
You can do either. You can definitely take this under advisement and consider it, think about it, talk with Mel and Mr. Hardman with Buckskin Hills, or you can make a decision now, whichever you think is best.
I would like to visit with Mel and Scott, and in all respect, along with our Lauren Anderson, our legal counsel, and just so we make the best possible decision. I do not have a problem with it personally, but
Yeah, and I just make sure that we have your contact information. Okay.
And I do have that, Commissioners.
Okay.
Okay.
Mike Wilkins, I said on the USIP board, we're not trying to stop everything. We definitely want everything to continue to flow, but we're dealing with immense lawsuits. I don't think it's the activity itself, but the spectators or whatever. If something happens, they're going to go after deep pockets, and that's where they go from. But the state, we have a immunity clause. What's the immunity clause? They keep raising it just so that they can continue to sue for more and more and more. Because the state and the counties have a governmental immunity act, and they just keep raising it. And so that we're trying not to shut them down, but we're also trying to protect the counties is where we're at. So anyway, that's on my wearing my hat of the USIP board is we definitely want to continue to have activities. We're just looking out for all the entities that we participate with.
The sad thing is, insurance across the board has gone up enormously. I've seen it with my residential house, with commercial, with everything. And I think a lot of it has to be contributed to, like he said, lots of lawsuits, but also lots of natural disasters that haven't helped. But
The problem we're running into with archery is we're not able to get that because it's too safe, so they don't offer insurance.
Okay.
That's what we're running into.
And do you find, you stated that all the other counties or the government agencies you work with throughout the state, none of them reached the 3.5 million. Do you know, are they mainly in the 2 million area?
Yes. Most of them will take our 2 million. They really like my 3 million, but we haven't had anybody tell us no on the 2 million yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we table this time, look at it, get back with you after some discussion with the folks involved on our end, and let you know what's going on. We'll make a decision in the commission meeting before you need it, before October 1st.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any further discussion or concern?
Great information. I appreciate you coming and everything you give us gives us the tools to work with to make a good informed decision.
Yes, great information packet.
Okay, I'll call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Table.
I was gonna say, I
That's what I
didn't
just
think we,
said.
I know, but I thought you had the authority to do that without a motion, so, no.
You made me do it last time. I'm just trying to keep consistent.
I look down at him, whatever he tells us.
I know, but he's the one that told me I had to do it last time, so.
Oh, okay.
All right, number 12, Trestlewood Cove Road Maintenance Agreement, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you. Commissioners, on August 5th, earlier this month, we did pass this road maintenance agreement and sent it to the city. The city made one change and then sent it back to us, so I just wanted to put this on the agenda so you know exactly the change that was made. Before, it talked about the division between the city line and the county line being the canal, and they've removed that language, so now it's wherever the city line is, the city will take responsibility for that road, and then where the county line is, we'll take responsibility for that road in the county line, in the county. Looking forward to some of this may be annexed into the city, that boundaries may change. So with that small change, I'd recommend that you do sign this updated road maintenance agreement.
Okay.
I would make a motion that we approve the amendment or the change to this agreement and move forward with signatures.
I'll call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
You've looked at it, Scott? Aye.
Okay. Any public comment today? Going once, going twice. Commissioner Fever, have you got something to say?
I move to approve, not approve, but to
To approve adjournment?
approve adjournment. There you go.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much for coming.
I'm trying to write the word approve.